David, I can't sit and talk to you. I would have really felt remiss if we had missed our little chess game. Just two things, one on the takings and one on the appeals.
Right.
It was February 21st and they didn't answer it for 2 months. That brings it to April 21st.
Right.
4 months brings it to August, so that leaves them 5 months.
Well, I wanted, if Mr. Colley's point is, I did not mean to say that they don't have time to appeal. If they decide to appeal, they got 9 months from when they filed their notice of appeal. So if I didn't mean to mislead. My point is, if it were me, and there were no cases out there, and then all of a sudden there were those 2 cases, I'd be in court appealing the next day.
No, my point was they still have 5 months.
But yeah, it's 9 months from the notice of appeal.
Play, as chess players, we always play a few moves ahead. If I was Tom West,
Yeah.
all right, with the state, with the executive order from Governor Patterson saying that you can't drill,
Right.
a town puts in a ban or a moratorium, they really cannot sue the town because the state has control over it.
That's right.
If I was Tom West and I was the gas company, I would buy all the time I could. And when the SGIS comes down, what does the gas company own? They only own the mineral rights. There is a taking suit. That is, it maybe what he's thinking, maybe it's not.
So let me explain your point.
He may not appeal, he may just go for a taking suit.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
So the question is, what Mr. Colley has posited is that Mr. West might have a reason that he's telling everybody publicly that his client's probably not going to appeal, and why he has told people publicly that he will not might, will not bring a takings claim, and that he's told people publicly why they don't have a takings claim. Mr. Colley is positing that because in Mr. Colley's view there is a moratorium, a statewide moratorium right now, that somehow impacts Mr. West's decision not to appeal. Somebody asked a question before. There is not a moratorium in place right now. There is a de facto moratorium, and the moratorium is only with respect to permits that are under the generic system. That's what the G in the SGI stands for, is generic, okay? It is not illegal, as we stand here today. It is not illegal to get, or impossible to get a permit to frack in New York State. And if your lawyer tells you it is, get that in writing as an opinion, and then you can sue the lawyer. Now, who agrees with me? The Attorney General of New York State agrees with me. Because this issue came up in the so-called force majeure cases, which I really don't want to get into at 10 o'clock, but I will. Suffice it to say that there is, that for what it's worth, the Attorney General of New York State agrees with me that there is not a moratorium out there. There is a de facto moratorium with respect to generic permits. What some people don't know is what the SGIS is. What this is a SOP to industry. What any other industry would have to do if they were going to drill these things, they would have to get their own permit. To get their own permit, they would have to do their own environmental impact statement. That's very time consuming, it costs a lot of money, okay? And in some cases, they just wouldn't be able to get it because of all these nasty impacts. So, what the G is in the SGIS is generic. What the state has agreed to do for them as a friend is say, you guys don't have to go out and get your own permits. You don't have to do your own environmental impact statement. We're going to do it for you. That's what the 1,400 pages is. And then once we do that, you can go out and just pull your permits serially. There is nothing on the books anywhere, and I've never heard a lawyer say otherwise. I've heard plenty of non-lawyers say it. There's nothing anywhere that says that an individual can't go out and try to pull a permit today on their own, not going through the generic, they don't want to do it because they don't want to spend the money to do their own environmental impact statement. But if there was a true moratorium, you couldn't do that. So you can do that, but nobody wants to do it because it'll cost too much money. And just so you know, that's what the S-GICE is. It's a giveaway from the state so that these guys don't have to do their own EISs. And the state is doing it. You want to talk about taxpayer subsidies. The state's paying one more fossil fuel industry subsidy is what they're doing through the generic permit route.